All right, welcome to another installment of the Fragments of Silicon reviews. It's 3 reviews, 1 impressions video this week. Though that is later on in the broadcast. Starting things off this week is the game Dead Estate. Right. Dead Estate is a gory, fast-paced, challenging, roguelike shooter with a heavy emphasis on Halloween and other horror influences. Ascend the floors of a monster-filled mansion with 9 unique characters and collect loads of items and weapons. Tackle grueling challenges and discover secrets and unlockables along the way. Beware of lurking threats on every floor. Some are especially persistent. Right then. This game is a roguelike isometric shooter. You might be noticing from the footage here, it's done in the style of those early isometric adventure games that we've been weirdly showcasing on the program recently. You know the ones. And if you don't, think Solstice or Landstalker on the Genesis, a million ZX Spectrum games, that kind of thing. Though this game differs in, it's not a puzzle adventure game, it's a shooter. And it's a far better game for it, in my estimation. And to it, there's no puzzle elements here. Also, the jumping is purely to, escape enemies. There's no platforming, thank God. So, no dealing with that awkward isometric platforming either. It still controls like an isometric game, but, it being a shooter is less of a concern. Which is thankful. If that's the word to use, but still. Anyway, so I suppose it's worth mentioning that this game also hails from the
hello there.
Spawning grounds of Newground. I did not play the original version of this.
Have fun out there.
Much like a lot of Newground projects that have found, life as, actual video games or, full-blown video games. This is something that was originally created on the Newground site. I mean, they're still doing that even in this decade. It's just, when I think of Newgrounds, I think of, the mid-2000s. Anyway, in terms of, the actual plot, so the core here is you are either, you start out as 2 characters, Jules and or Jeff, who are, Jules is hitchhiking by the side of the road, gets picked up by Jeff, the trucker. His truck breaks down. I believe it's start to storm, and they flee into the Dead Estate, which is, a place filled with many horrors and monsters. Not all of them dead or undead, by the way. For example, one of the higher floors is the laboratory. So, you get a lot of lab experiments in that stage. And, let me see here. So, in traversing a floor, your basic goal here is to literally find the key to that locked door that is on screen right now. because this is a roguelike, everything is procedurally generated. And it's got the roguelike trappings of, you've got Chunks the rat, who is your persistent monster if you take too long on a floor. I'm sure you're familiar with this if you played many a roguelike. He's not the worst.
Is it?
He's stunnable in this. The thing is, he is also the final boss. So,
that kind of thing where it's like a persona thing, usually Reaper can be killed and you get a decent reward if you do that, but not until very late in the game.
I gotta admit, I do not exactly know how to stun him. I do know there's an achievement for it. Because your regular weapons don't do damage to him. Or the floor. See. And another thing to mention is that this also has the roguelike boss approach. To wit, the Ultra Clock here is one of several bosses you might fight on floor 1.
Right.
Also worth mentioning is there are several types of rooms that you will encounter on a floor. Several shops. There's the, let's say, general store, the witch's store, where you get all sorts of power-ups, the occasional power-down, if you will, or trade-off, depending on the item. You've got the doctor's office, which allows you to upgrade your character for power, agility, health. I'm trying to remember the third one. Don't remember the fourth one offhand, but those are upgradable up to 3 times, and they're not permanent. This is a roguelike, not really a roguelite. Let's see. There are there are chest rooms which have either an item or a weapon. Higher floors will have the gun store, which have various weapons. And there are also secret rooms, which is which can be found either by looking for them or by purchasing the map or the globe from the witch, Delia. In terms of baseline characters, Jeff is the recommended starting character, as he's got 8 ticks of health, and his pistol has the full range of the room. But his big downside is he is slow as shit. Not the slowest character, but he's definitely noticeably slower than Jules. Jules is the harder character to use because she only has 4 ticks of health, and her shotgun is a shotgun. If you know how a shotgun works, it's a close range weapon. So you do have to get closer to enemies in order to be most effective. And there are 6 unlockable characters for a total of 9. I think I managed to get 2 in my time playing the game. They are unlocked under various conditions, remember, Mortimer, the experiment. You have to find him in the laboratory. And Hilda the Fighter, I actually unlocked by getting my health up to 12 ticks. Didn't actually play with her because I ran into a fatal error with my game. Like, for some reason, the save game kept crashing. I don't know why.
That's not usually good.
No, it ended my time with the game prematurely. It's a shame because this is honestly one of the stronger games I've played this year so far. I know it's early days, but like I said, I was surprised at how good the game was. Even with a controller, the game didn't play bad. I actually played well on a controller, which is not the easiest thing to do with a twin stick shooter. Like, we've covered a number of them on the program, and yeah, the reason why the keyboard and mouse is recommended.
Well, if it's a real twin stick, then it's using sticks, which is usually that. However, you can get better accuracy sometimes with the mouse and keyboard, because then you can put your reticle literally on top of what you're trying to shoot at.
Yeah, that'd be one of these. It's very much a cursor-based affair. In fact, calling this a twin stick shooter isn't exactly accurate because it's one of those where you aim with the right stick. You don't shoot. There's a key difference because
some twin stick shooters are just auto fire, and the two different sticks are all you can do here. But here you have a shoot button, and also it looks like a jump button.
Yes. And I think you missed it, but yeah, there is jumping, but there's no jumping over pits or jumping to solve puzzles. It's not an isometric puzzle.
Yeah, it's just to jump over short obstacles or enemies.
Right. And yeah, like I said, it's got a solid foundation in terms of its core mechanics. And, since not only is it a roguelike, but there's a lot of items, and enemies, and all of that stuff to unlock. On top of that, there are things like you can loop the game. Once you get up to the balcony, you get a choice to: do you want to go down to the ground floor, or do you want to go to the final boss? And yes, there are reasons you want to loop. Like, for example, you will unlock a character if you loop. I also think that's how you get to the true ending. Don't quote me on that. And yeah, you said it. There's a lot of content. Pretty simple in the mechanics front, as you'd expect, but its execution is, like I said, shocking. But this game probably should be better known than it is. But I don't think this has hit any consoles yet. And it is getting free updates. Like, on Valentine's Day, they just got the Heaven and Hell update. Admittedly, I did not have the chance to see what that was all about.
Is that the one that turns the game to the Binding of Isaac, but at a 45-degree angle?
Probably.
I'm joking because there are some similarities aside from it being isometric, which is different.
Yeah.
And you can jump and here to not be a baby.
Yeah. There is a child character, but there's no actual, baby character. Surprising.
Yeah, in the Binding of Isaac, everybody is a naked baby, almost.
Yes. Anyway, in terms of pricing, this game will run you regularly $14.99. It does have an option to buy the soundtrack for $4.99. Soundtrack was okay. I'm struggling to remember it. Like, yeah. And yeah, I think this game can justify the price tag of $15. I think, like, the combination of, once again, the solid foundation as well as the litany of, items, the huge amount of replay value, and the fact that this game is still getting updates.
Mm-hmm.
It comes together for a most exquisite package. Like I said, this may end up in my tops list for the year. It's hard to say because it's February, and what we play throughout the year varies greatly. But like I said, early game of the year contender. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? I'm going to say a no on that. Petty, anything you want to add since you've been playing the game?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, then. So, yeah, that'll about do it for Dead Estate. Be sure to tune in after the break, as Petty will be giving his impressions of the floating islands of Nucifera.